Chosen one. The demonic Masons and your own family members hate you because you're sending them to jail. The FBI is already involved and raids are in motion. The cops know everything. There are people in your life watching you with a twisted mix of fascination and fury, seeing something in you they desperately want but will never possess. These aren't just enemies. These are people who were supposed to protect you, and now federal agents are preparing to kick in their doors. Because their time is up. Wrong grandmother, the one who always seemed a little too interested in your personal business, has been harboring a secret hatred that runs deeper than blood. That cousin who suddenly started asking about your finances after your recent success, they've been feeding information to people who want to see you destroyed. The aunt who always made backhanded comments about your lifestyle choices has been actively working to undermine your stability for years. Your own mother might be involved in ways that would shatter your understanding of family bonds. The woman who gave you life has been participating in rituals designed to end it, believing that your elimination would somehow transfer your spiritual gifts to her or other family members who feel entitled to what you naturally possess. The most disturbing part, they've been coordinating with a network that goes far beyond your personal circle. A dirty cop, someone sworn to protect and serve, has been using their badge and connections to facilitate a setup that would make your disappearance look accidental. This isn't just corruption. This is a coordinated attack on your very existence. This law enforcement officer has been falsifying reports, manipulating evidence, and using police databases to track your movements and identify your vulnerabilities. They've been sharing your personal information with criminal networks, providing inside knowledge about police response times in your area, and even planning to be the responding officer to whatever incident they orchestrated against you. The conspiracy against you runs through secret societies that most people think are just old men in funny hats doing charity work. Behind the public facade of brotherhood and community service lies a network of 33rd-degree Masons who've been tracking individuals like you for years. These high-ranking members have access to resources that would shock you. They can coordinate across state lines, manipulate legal proceedings, and even influence law enforcement investigations. That dirty cop working against you? They're likely a Mason themselves, using their position to gather intelligence and create opportunities for the network to strike. Your unique DNA signature, your natural healing abilities, your intuitive gifts, these have all been catalogued and discussed in meetings you never knew existed. They see you as a threat to their carefully constructed power structure because you represent something they can never manufacture: authentic divine connection. They've been hiring people online, recruiting from criminal networks, even reaching out to gang members with government connections. The plan was comprehensive: make you disappear in a way that would never be traced back to them. Professional hitmen were contacted through dark web networks, with payments arranged through cryptocurrency transfers that they believed were untraceable. Social media monitoring was implemented to track your daily routines, identify your closest relationships, and find opportunities to isolate you from your support systems. They knew where you worked, where you shopped, which routes you took to get home, and even which family members you trusted most. The most chilling aspect of their surveillance was the psychological profiling they conducted. They studied your personality patterns, identified your emotional triggers, and developed manipulation strategies designed to make you doubt your own perceptions when their attacks began escalating. Some lodge members were assigned to infiltrate your social circles, befriending you or people close to you to gather intelligence and create opportunities for harm. That new neighbor who seemed overly friendly, that co-worker who started asking personal questions, that person who kept appearing at the same places you frequented, none of these were coincidences. Their plan involved multiple phases: isolation from support systems, financial sabotage, character assassination, and finally physical elimination. Each phase was designed to weaken your defenses and make the final attack seem like the inevitable result of a troubled life rather than coordinated murder. The network extended into business communities, with Masonic members in positions of corporate leadership coordinating to block your professional advancement and create financial pressure that would make you more vulnerable to their ultimate plans. Bank of America records show irregularities that investigators are now examining closely. Your grandparents' estate, money that should have been yours by right, has been tied up in legal proceedings that weren't as random as they appeared. Someone has been manipulating probate court documents, forging signatures, and redirecting funds that belong to your family line for generations. That inheritance you thought was lost in legal complications, it was stolen through a coordinated effort involving corrupt attorneys, compromised court officials, and family members who sold their souls for quick cash. The stolen ancestral land your great-grandparents worked to acquire has been sitting in someone else's name for years. Properties worth millions have been transferred through shell companies and fraudulent deeds, while you struggled financially, never knowing you were the rightful heir to substantial wealth. Trust funds established by previous generations were dissolved through forged documentation, with the proceeds distributed among family members who participated in the conspiracy against you. Life insurance policies were secretly changed to remove you as a beneficiary, ensuring that your death would financially benefit those planning your elimination. Real estate transactions spanning multiple decades show a pattern of property being transferred out of your family line through suspicious sales, often involving buyers with connections to Masonic organizations or criminal enterprises. Land that should have provided generational wealth was sold for far below market value to people who knew exactly what they were purchasing. Investment accounts opened in your name during childhood were systematically drained through fraudulent withdrawals authorized by family members with access to your personal information. College funds that should have secured your education were redirected to finance the very operations designed to destroy your future. The scope of financial manipulation extended to business investments and partnerships that your family entered into with the specific intention of moving assets away from your eventual inheritance. Joint ventures with Masonic-connected businesses were structured to benefit the lodge members while depleting your family's legitimate wealth. Government benefits and entitlements that you qualified for were blocked through insider manipulation of social services databases. Healthcare coverage that should have been available was denied through coordinated insurance fraud, ensuring that any health emergencies would create additional financial strain. They needed you gone because your very existence threatened their illegal financial empire. Every day you remained alive was another day you might discover the truth about what was stolen from your bloodline. Legal documents were prepared in advance to finalize the transfer of remaining assets immediately following your planned elimination. The irony is profound. While they were plotting to eliminate you for financial gain, your spiritual inheritance was always going to manifest regardless of their schemes. The universe has abundance set aside for you that no human manipulation can touch. While you were living your normal life, an invisible war was being fought over your soul. These people weren't just plotting physical harm, they were launching spiritual attacks designed to drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and make you vulnerable to their earthly schemes. Angels have been incarnating in and out of human bodies to intervene in situations where your safety was threatened. That random stranger who showed up at exactly the right moment when you were in danger, not a coincidence. That sudden change in your plans that kept you away from a location where something bad was waiting? Divine redirection. Your ability to sense when situations felt wrong, to change your routines unexpectedly, to avoid certain people on certain days, these weren't random intuitive hits. You were being guided by forces that could see the entire chessboard while you could only see your next move. The protection around you operates on multiple dimensions. While they were planning attacks in the physical realm, your spiritual support team was already 10 steps ahead, creating barriers they couldn't even perceive. Guardian angels assigned specifically to your case have been working overtime, coordinating with archangels to ensure your survival through increasingly dangerous situations. The following is a message from Mike, founder of the Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Astral Atom. You didn't just survive your past, you were refined by it. Every betrayal, every psychic attack, every night you thought you wouldn't make it, that wasn't random, that was the forge, and now the blade is ready. Inside the Obsidian Inner Order, we gather each week on live Zoom calls, and yes, they're recorded, so when you're down in the pit, you can still tap the signal. You'll meet divine warrior goddesses who walk with ancestral fire in their spines, masculine healers who carry prophecy in their silence, a former military drone operator who now moves matter with his thoughts, a seer from Utah who broke free of Mormonism to become a Gnostic, a psychic in Noosa who used to be a millionaire CFO, a spiritual healer who clawed their way out of a satanic cult and now channels light like a weapon. These aren't stories, they're your future reflections. If you've ever felt like you were meant for something more, it's because you are. The field is open, the war is real, the circle is waiting. Join the Obsidian Inner Order, link in the description. Thank you all for supporting the broadcast. We quite literally could not do this without you. Your ancestors, the ones who died protecting family secrets and sacred knowledge, have been working overtime from the other side to ensure their bloodline continues through you. Spirits of deceased relatives who remained loyal to the family's true spiritual calling have been appearing in your dreams to provide warnings and guidance about specific threats. The number 444 has been appearing repeatedly in your life as a sign that your protection is active and complete. Every time you've seen this number, you were being notified that an attack had just been deflected or neutralized by your spiritual security team. Phone times, receipt totals, license plates, the universe has been using every available method to confirm your protected status. Divine intervention has manifested through seemingly coincidental events that saved your life without you realizing how close you came to danger. Traffic delays that kept you away from planned accidents, sudden illness that prevented you from attending events where violence was waiting, technology malfunctions that interrupted your routines at exactly the right moments. Weather patterns have been manipulated to interfere with planned attacks against you. Storms have erupted at precise moments to force the cancellation of gatherings where your enemies intended to harm you. Power outages have disrupted their communications during critical planning phases. Your natural intuition has been amplified beyond normal human capacity, allowing you to sense danger with supernatural accuracy. Dreams have provided specific details about threats before they materialized, giving you opportunities to alter your behavior and avoid harm. Animals have been serving as additional protection, with birds, cats and dogs appearing to guide you away from dangerous areas or alert you to the presence of people with malicious intentions. Your pet's unusual behavior patterns have been divinely inspired to keep you safe. Electronic devices in your possession have malfunctioned at strategic moments to prevent you from responding to messages or invitations that would have led you into dangerous situations. Your car has experienced temporary mechanical issues that forced you to change routes on days when accidents or attacks were planned along your usual paths. Law enforcement agencies have been building a case that goes far beyond what you initially realized. The FBI investigation started when patterns emerged connecting financial fraud, organized crime, corruption in law enforcement, and ritual abuse networks across multiple states. Your situation became relevant to their investigation when digital communications were intercepted, showing coordination between the dirty cop in your case and known criminal networks. These weren't just local bad actors, this was organized crime with connections to human trafficking operations that stretched from coast to coast. The evidence they've collected includes recorded conversations between family members discussing plans for your elimination, bank records showing fraudulent transfers of your inheritance money, digital communications between Masonic Lodge members coordinating surveillance and harassment campaigns, video footage from security cameras capturing ritual activities in locations that were supposed to be legitimate meeting spaces. Federal agents have been watching some of these people for months, building airtight cases that will result in decades of prison time. Undercover operations have infiltrated the lodge meetings where your elimination was planned, with federal agents recording every detail of the conspiracy. Wiretaps on the phones of key conspirators have captured hours of conversations detailing not only the plot against you, but also evidence of other crimes including drug trafficking, money laundering, child exploitation, and murder-for-hire schemes involving multiple victims across different time periods. Financial investigations have uncovered a complex web of shell companies, offshore accounts, and cryptocurrency transactions used to fund criminal activities and hide stolen assets. Bank records spanning decades show systematic theft from multiple families, with your inheritance representing just one target among many. International law enforcement agencies have been contacted as investigators discovered that some of the criminal activities extended beyond United States borders. Money trails lead to accounts in countries known for banking secrecy, while communication intercepts revealed coordination with similar criminal networks operating in Europe and South America. The dirty cop central to your case has been under surveillance for over a year, with federal agents documenting their abuse of police databases, falsification of reports, and coordination with known criminals. Body camera footage and dashboard recordings have captured evidence of them sharing confidential information with unauthorized individuals. Court documents are being prepared that will expose the full scope of the conspiracy against you. Multiple agencies are coordinating simultaneously to prevent any of the main players from fleeing or destroying evidence. Search warrants have been prepared for dozens of locations, including homes, businesses, lodge buildings, and storage facilities. Digital forensics teams have been analyzing seized computers and phones, recovering deleted communications that detail the conspiracy in the participants' own words. Encrypted messaging apps that the conspirators believed were secure have been penetrated by federal cybercrime specialists. The truth is coming out in ways that will shock everyone who thought they knew these people. Respected community members, trusted family figures, law enforcement officers, all revealed as participants in a network that targeted you for elimination. Masonic lodges are being raided as investigators uncover evidence of ritual activities that violate every law designed to protect human dignity. The charitable organizations these groups funded were fronts for money laundering operations that supported their criminal activities. Tax-exempt status is being revoked as the true nature of their operations becomes public knowledge. Family members who betrayed you are discovering that loyalty to the network doesn't protect you when federal agencies decide to dismantle it. The people they trusted to keep them safe are cutting deals with prosecutors to reduce their own sentences. Mother turning against daughter, brother testifying against sister, the family bonds they corrupted are dissolving under legal pressure. The ripple effects are destroying entire social networks as people distance themselves from anyone connected to the conspiracy. Marriages are ending, business partnerships are dissolving, and social groups are fragmenting as the truth spreads through communities. The spiritual attacks they launched against you have returned to destroy their own lives in ways they never anticipated. The death spells intended for you are manifesting as terminal illnesses in their own bodies. The financial ruin they planned for you is becoming their reality as legal fees drain their stolen wealth. Mental illness is spreading through their network as the dark energies they summoned refuse to be controlled. The chaos magic they sent your way has created chaos in their own minds, leaving them paranoid, desperate, and making increasingly dangerous decisions that expose their crimes. People who seemed untouchable just months ago are now unemployed, divorced, facing bankruptcy, and watching their reputations destroyed in very public ways. The same social networks they used to coordinate attacks against you are now spreading news of their downfall with the same efficiency they once used for coordination. The family members who participated in rituals against you are experiencing the breakdown of their own family structures. Children are being removed from homes by social services, marriages are ending in bitter divorces, and generational wealth is being lost through poor decisions and legal consequences. Their attempts to drain your energy have backfired so completely that they are now the ones experiencing constant fatigue, depression, and spiritual emptiness. The life force they tried to steal from you has become a void in their own existence that no amount of money or power can fill. The practitioners they hired to attack you have turned against them, demanding payment they can no longer afford, while threatening to expose their crimes if they don't receive compensation. The criminal networks they thought they controlled are now demanding tribute they cannot pay. The inheritance money that was stolen from you is being recovered through federal asset forfeiture proceedings. Properties that were fraudulently transferred are being returned to your name. Bank accounts frozen during the investigation will be released with accumulated interest that multiplies your rightful wealth. Your psychic abilities, which they tried to suppress through spiritual attacks, are now stronger than ever. The attempts to drain your energy have actually forced you to develop stronger connection to Source that makes you nearly untouchable. You can now sense deception instantly, perceive hidden motives, and navigate complex situations with supernatural wisdom. The timeline jumping abilities you've developed allow you to navigate reality in ways that keep you consistently ahead of any remaining threats. You can sense danger before it manifests and alter your path through dimensions they don't even know exist. This skill has become so refined that you're essentially living in a different reality than your attackers. Professional opportunities are opening that will establish your financial independence permanently. The spiritual inheritance that was always meant for you is manifesting as material abundance that no human can steal or manipulate. Job offers, business opportunities, and investment possibilities are flowing into your life with perfect timing. Your unique DNA signature, which they tried to exploit for their dark purposes, is now revealing its true purpose as a key to accessing higher dimensional resources and information. The very traits they envied are becoming the foundation for a level of success they could never achieve through their artificial methods. The healing abilities that made you a target are now operating at levels that attract positive attention from people who can support your mission. Healthcare opportunities, alternative healing practices, and spiritual counseling positions are becoming available that will allow you to use your gifts productively. Your intuitive abilities have expanded to include prophetic dreams, spontaneous knowledge, and the ability to influence outcomes through focused intention. The spiritual warfare you survived has unlocked capacities that were always present but needed extreme circumstances to activate. You now understand that your struggles weren't random bad luck. They were targeted attacks from people who recognized your power before you fully understood it yourself. The persecution you survived was actually confirmation of your chosen status and preparation for the mission you came here to complete. The legal proceedings destroying your enemies will continue for years, ensuring they never have the freedom to target another chosen individual the way they targeted you. Their imprisonment serves as both justice for their crimes and protection for future generations of spiritually gifted individuals. Your role as a chosen one includes being living proof that divine protection is real and that evil networks eventually destroy themselves when they target the truly innocent. Your survival story will inspire others who are facing similar spiritual warfare and provide them with hope during their darkest moments. The abundance flowing into your life now serves multiple purposes: compensation for what you endured, resources for your mission work, and demonstration that aligning with divine will always leads to victory over human manipulation. Your prosperity will enable you to help other targeted individuals and support organizations working to expose corruption. You've been through the fire and emerged not just unburned, but refined into something more powerful than you were before the attacks began. The very people who tried to destroy you have inadvertently participated in your transformation into the person you were always meant to become. Their opposition has strengthened every aspect of your character and abilities. The FBI raids, the court proceedings, the exposure of the networks that targeted you, all of this serves the larger purpose of clearing the way for chosen ones to operate safely in a world that desperately needs your gifts. Your case is setting legal precedents that will protect future generations of spiritually gifted individuals. Your victory isn't just personal, it's a victory for every person who has ever been targeted for their light, their gifts, their connection to something greater than the material world. The defeat of this network sends a message throughout both physical and spiritual realms that chosen ones are protected and that attacks against them will backfire completely. The demonic networks are being dismantled, the corrupt systems are being exposed, divine justice is being served, and you, chosen one, are free to fulfill your purpose without the interference of those who feared your power. Your time of hiding is over. Your time of struggling against artificial limitations is finished. Your time of abundance, protection, and fulfilled purpose has begun. The universe is now actively supporting your mission in ways that will amaze you. The people who once threatened you are now examples of what happens when ordinary humans try to oppose divine will. Their destruction serves as protection for you and warning for others. Your rising serves as inspiration for every chosen one who needs to see that victory is not only possible but inevitable.